Hello everybody, welcome back to the Granty Zoo. A lot of changes since we left. So what I've done is I've made this little tree thing, so I'm pretty sure it's got black spruce and Himalayan pines. So I've just slapped that around to fill in everything. But yeah, I think I might have, so I'm not sure if you were there, but I've changed the polar bear, so now there's only one male and he's got all of his girlfriends with him now. Obviously it'll be harder to find them, but I mean that'll just be the fun part of it. But yeah, so let's quickly give you an update on everything. I've put a path going along down here now, and I've added a shelter here. So obviously I reckon the wolves will be coming here a lot more often. Let's quickly go take a look at them. I'm going to orbit one of them for a bit. Let's orbit Canuck, the big boy male. We'll just orbit him for a couple of minutes or so. Okay, so, and then what we've also added is we've added this Japanese macaque habitat over here. Actually, no, let's go from order. So I first added this Arctic fox habitat. Quite a basic little habitat, but I love it. So once again, I did the same thing that I did with the polar bear. I kind of did like this little mesh thing going along here. But then again, they can still go through here. So yeah, there's quite a couple of them. I've only got one blue morph. I can't be bothered to like breed them all and that. How many are there exactly? There's 9 of them. I'm pretty sure there's only one out here. The rest of them probably all asleep. I did actually have to lower the grass, so that's why it's all mong, because it used to be... Oh yeah, there's one sleeping down there. Oh, there we go. There's the blue morph coming up. But it used to all be up, and you couldn't see them at all. But now I've changed that. Moving on. So then we got the Japanese macaque habitat. So it was quite simple how I built this. So what I did is I went over to terrain. And then I used the cube one. So I started off with like 6 meters. I built one in front of it being 5 meters. One in front of it being 4 meters. And I did kind of like a mountain type thing. And also I just used the flattened foundation thing. Pretty easy. But yeah, I've got this really nice habitat. I've had to put like a little dip here just so sometimes the macaques will go down here. I guess would be, oh, the view of the Japanese macaque is horrible. Yeah, there's around 10 of them in here. Really, guys? Really? Guys? Guys! Okay, so I'm gonna get... They're still howling. Okay, I'm not gonna get too close to them because I've got this really horrible chittering sound. And it just sounds horrible of mine. But yeah, so I've built like a couple of custom climbing things. So what I did for this one is I just got the base shelter. Yeah, there we go, the wooden basic shelter. Stacked it onto each other. Creates like this really nice habitat here that they can also climb onto over here. Obviously, I think they're all being fed as well right now. So they are all a bit rowdy. Moving on to the red crown crane habitat. I need to move this again, don't I? But yeah, just a couple of them over here, and not too much, just a pretty basic, straightforward habitat. But yeah, Let's move to somewhere a little more quieter. Let's head on over to the forest. So our forest consists of Arctic fox, red panda, and the North American beaver. Pretty sure the beavers are sleeping. Oh no, one of them's asleep. It is a fairly big habitat, to be honest. And there's also one over in the beaver pool. But I do actually think this zoo is soon coming to an end. No, I reckon we've already built all of our habitats. So we've built all of our habitats, everybody. Sorry I couldn't show as much as this zoo. It just really wasn't the plan to... But obviously... Also guys, can I please point something out? I say this in every single video and it sounds like I'm begging at this point, but can you guys please actually subscribe now? Cool Creations, he's recently hit 300 subscribers. He's got like... He hasn't even got 300 videos. This is going to be like my 318th video. And I've still got like 270 subscribers. Believe me, I'm actually incredibly grateful. But please, can you guys go down below, hit that subscribe button, because it actually means so much to me. You generally do not know how thankful I would have been. But yeah, right now we're just finishing it up, the zoo, so we're grabbing this foliage patch and we are putting it behind all of the habitats. But then since we're over here now, let's grab this one. There we go. Let's carry on. I'm going to place it a bit more further back this way. This will definitely be going on the workshop, everybody, so to all my console players out there, be ready, because probably after you see this video, hop on Planet Zoo, and you might see this zoo loaded up onto the workshop, ready for you guys to explore, see this amazing zoo in person. So what I'm doing is just adding some depth into this. Because like right now, if they look past us, they can easily see that. This will basically be the barrier saying, no, you cannot look past her. Let's just see now. Yeah, see the black spruce really does a number on that. Wow. Let's just find any gaps that need some filling in, like this one here. Okay. So look at that zoo now. Very tiny zoo. Make sure everyone's food is on grade 3. Okay. Wow, so we've spent around only 27 years on this zoo? Hold on. Oh my days. I can't be the only one that just saw that. Okay. Okay, they're howling again. Let's quickly see how our red pandas are doing. I'm actually going to try and find them since... Oh! They're all over here. These walls house so much. I mean, the Siamangs, these guys are also pretty noisy. Spend enough time near them, they'll go... Well annoying. Black-tailed prairie dog. I'm going to be honest, I haven't actually seen them being fed yet. Let's get a keeper over here. Hopefully they'll feed them. No! I just want to see, guys, if we turn money on, I want to see how much money I'll actually lose. All the way up to... Let's just watch my money rapidly drop for a bit. Still on 900. Oh, 998,000. I guess we do have like all the education boards and all the staff facilities, and all the donation bins and all the food because it's all in grade 3. Oh my god. Okay, scuff that. Let's go. There we go. But yeah. Oh, okay. Look at them. All huddling around here. But yeah, that's all for this zoo. I can't lie, everybody. This was the Granty Zoo, everybody. Long-term project that we worked on for quite a while. So let's go through a little tour of it. First up, the habitat I built was a Przewalski horse. I was extremely excited about getting the conservation and the Arctic pack. So I decided, yep, I'm building for this guy. I gave him a really nice habitat, mainly consisting of flowers from the conservation pack. And then I found this little hoostock shelter off the workshop and decided to slap it in here, even though half the time they never use it. And then I'm going to go through here. This isn't the second habitat I built. I built it, it was like the 5th habitat or something like that. But this koala and the red kangaroo. Obviously the koalas aren't going to be using any of the climbing stuff because God knows why. I do quite like this idea. It's pretty basic, probably not even that great. But you just slap a couple of education boards. You can, if you want, put like their little animal sign from their pack. And slap it down onto there to make it even more better, but you know, pretty easy. Just put a wall down, slap 2 education boards on, tilt them, and yeah, you can see the male red kangaroo going along down there, and obviously all the koalas. Now we're going to track back. We're going to go down this way past the forest, and we're going to go back round. Hopefully we'll come back down here. Black-tailed prairie dog habitat takes up the entire length. There is 54 of them. Yeah, I like my prairie dogs. Moving on, we've got the Siamang Island. I believe it or not, yeah, this isn't actually part of the habitat, this electric fence here. The habitat actually goes up all the way to here. I do quite like this habitat that I've built for them. There's like a little shelter that they've got over here, and it expands on out into here. Got a bunch of little climbing stuff that they can do, and then it leads back out in here, and they've also got the floor to go along there. Next to them will be the red deer. I don't see how they're red deer. This isn't really much of a habitat that I thought about. Mainly just like a, you know, basic deer, slap it in, call it a day habitat. But yeah, once again, it is still fairly good. I do like the mix of like foliage, how it's kind of scattered about. And then now it's not really that much of a deep water either. definitely does help it a lot. We're not going to go that way, so let's go down into the forest. So first of all, you'll see inside the Arctic wolf shelter. Not the main viewing of it, but I saw this and I was like, yeah, why not? So the first habitat I built in here was for the North American beaver. Got 3 of them in here, 1 male, 2 females. Got their dam in the back, and obviously they will mainly spend most of their time swimming. I put a couple of ducks in there off the workshop as well, which definitely does tie the habitat together. But yeah, pretty basic habitat, not too much, pretty straightforward. And yeah, as you obviously saw, we did a hunter keeper talk off this, was the red panda. I quite like how this habitat turned out. I quite like how I've also given them a huge amount of privacy. Yes, the guests will complain, but I don't really care. I'm thinking about the welfare of this animal and basing it kind of a bit like Kingpin, who kind of like, even though he'll have some star settings off, he might not, I don't know, he'll still like make it seem like it's natural habitat. Then we've got another viewing for the Arctic wolf in here, probably a more better one. As you can see, more of it. Then we've got viewing 1 of the Arctic wolf. Here we've got the only inside viewing for the Arctic fox, which is pretty good because you've straight away just bang. You've got their food tray there, and you can see a couple of them sleeping as well. We've also got this little backstage again with this idea with the window frame being here, and then you slap down a mesh panel fence so you can kind of see what is going on for keeper reasons. Then I'm going to start talking about the Arctic wolf. So Arctic wolf is definitely one of my favourite habitats. I really like how, going back down over here, I've included these well, not really a backstage stuff, but I've made it so if these close down, I can stop the Arctic wolves from coming out here because they can't go through the keeper one. So yeah, it's probably really a good one. They've got this big river along here to give them water source, and I just didn't know what to do with it. That's what I always do when I don't know what to do with something, with a piece of land. I just slap down a large chunk of water. Speaking of water, we've got the red crown crane over here. They've got a deeper end over here, which goes, yeah, it's well deep, but then most of it is like this really shallow water, including this part where it expands over here, going into a more deeper out part where the forage pool is. Got also this over here, which is kind of perfect because it then kind of like up after it, yeah, gets a lot more deeper down into the water. Once again, the Arctic wolf. Love how this habitat turned out, I can't lie. Look at all of them prowling about, you don't want to mess with them. Japanese macaque habitat. Oh god, that's turned out terrible. I might sort that out, I might not. Can't be bothered. Okay, guys, come on. Let's just reset all of this enrichment so we'll... Okay, where is this small ball from? Up there. Let's reset the small ice ball as well, and then that's from all the way up there. Great. But yeah, these guys love messing about, I can't lie. Look at that, really good view there. Then we've got the second Arctic wolf shelter, which is more of an open one, so if I ever lock them out here, they'll still have a shelter. Moving on to our last 2 habitats, but first I'm going to show you this restaurant. I mean, it's a restaurant I found off the workshop. Not that much to say. But, yeah. Workshop. Over here we've got our reindeer habitat. I believe we've got 1 male and like 4 females. I can't definitely specify, but the male is actually huge. 3 females, 1 male. The male is massive. Look at this big male. That's the male, isn't it? Yeah. Look at him. He's huge. Look, compared to that female. Massive. Believe it or not, this was the actually only habitat I built with snow. It kind of fits, but then I've also done like just like some soil as well. That's not completely just snow. And then the main attraction of this zoo, biggest habitat that I've ever built. Actually, no, it probably isn't. Biggest habitat that one of the biggest habitats I've ever built. Most dangerous animal on the world, the polar bear. Honestly, the backdrop with like those black spruce trees that I'm zooming into, really, they just really tie it all together. I've got this really big deep dive down here. You can see the male is loving it, but as you can see, it's kind of goes shallow and then it goes incredibly deep. But yeah, they've got this huge habitat full of buffalo grass. It's around like 1,500. But yeah, really big habitat. There's a shelter back there, but then the main attraction is probably the backstage shelter. Then there's a small shallower water over here for little drinking, or just to get their little paws wet. Then again, so we've got the ramp that leads up into this huge shelter. Couple of water parts, no, couple of hay parts, and then there's also this here. There's this lockout over here that, oh god. And the keeper's dumped food there. Great. Let's just move. But yeah, that's the thing. If they ever come here, they will get stuck. So let's just move all of these guys. But yeah, I love this backstage. It's got a fridge here, bunch of tools here, more tools over here, then a little meat prep over here. But yeah, wow, yeah, I don't know what to say anymore. Just done a whole entire tour of the zoo. This is the Granty Zoo, everybody, a long-term project that we have worked on. Really hope you guys all enjoyed it. But I guess that is all for the zoo right now. I'll see you all guys later. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hit that subscribe button down below. Peace out.